Okay, so right there is, we've begun to move racks back in. And we've got bins of like cables and whatnot. Those are power cables in that one. So anyway, we're gonna paint first. There's like here on the wall, you can see like nastiness. So we're just gonna paint, make it a little bit nicer, and start connecting equipment. We gotta run the ventilation. We're gonna do the exterior ventilation in that window. So I'm a big fan there. Blowing air out. And then this window right there is, sorry, I crunched the rack. It was a good save. Let me pull that out. So, and then this is gonna be the intake. So coming in through there and going out through there. And the whole room's only, you know, what is that, like 12 feet maybe? By 30, maybe 14 by 35, something like that. We still don't know what we're gonna do about the ant miners. So those are the ant miners down there, and those go on the rack. But the GPU miners, we had, we used to have the GPU miners, we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rigs hanging on a rack. But the problem with that was that anytime the rack jiggled, all the rigs jiggled. And when you have a bunch of riser cards with the cables, things get disconnected pretty easily. Not disconnected, but more like, you know, the tiny PCB portion of the riser card that sits inside the motherboard and the video slot, that can kind of like wiggle itself, and then usually the OS will like throw an error because it can't communicate correctly with the card anymore, and so the OS blows up and then the mining rig stops mining. So having a bunch of hanging GPUs on a rack, I think is a bad idea, unless the rack is very, very sturdy and mobile. So we've switched all those to individual frames, and so we don't know. We're gonna have 1, 2, 3 racks for the GPUs. Sorry, for the ant miners, and then so that'll take us to about here. So then we'll have, what is that? That's a good. That would definitely be enough room for them. So we have enough room in here for everything. The question is, do we want to run everything, given that we are going to have a temperature going on in here, right? So for the temperature, the thing that makes the most difference is there's too much heat being produced. You can't bring in enough air conditioning to offset the number or the amount of heat that's being produced. So what we have to do is just exchange the air. All the mining equipment can withstand 100 degree temperature, 100 degree Fahrenheit temperature outside, no problem. What they can't tolerate is baking in a room to 150 degrees, right? So as long as we exchange all the air out of the room frequently, then we're good. So I guess because the GPUs and the ant miners can both withstand 110 degree temps, that would make sense to put them all in here. So that's what we're probably gonna do. So that wall there is 120, that's 240, that's 240, that's 120. So we'd have to run lines, which won't be a problem. We'll just run straight across and over, have some cable management. So the 220 stuff, so all the Antminers will loop from, so that will hang over here in the air. The far one down there is going to go across the ground. This one here will hang over and service the first probably 2 racks of the Antminers. And then these guys will service the 3rd rack, probably the end of the 2nd rack and the 3rd rack. And then these are for the GPU miners. So we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 cables coming along the bottom. Another 8 cables coming down here servicing these guys. So we'll probably have the cables coming and cut in right here and take care of the 8 miners. And then another 8 there. And we'll probably just have them all on the floor. All right, well, that's the thought process for now. There's a lot of work to do to get everything reconnected, but it's going to be a lot easier to maintain things given that this new building is closer than the old building. So that's it for now. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.